Rush Limbaugh's on-air confession will leave your jaw on the ground. Rush Limbaugh had a secret he needed to let the world in on. The top-rated conservative talk show host stunned his audience with what he had to say. And his on-air confession will leave your jaw on the ground. During a recent broadcast, Limbaugh analyzed President Trump's political standing as the government shutdown dragged into its fourth week. Fake news reporters across every network and publication sang from the same sheet of music and claimed Donald Trump had blundered by refusing to cave in on receiving funding for his wall. They also cited polls showing that the majority of Americans blame Trump and the GOP for the shutdown and not the Democrats. However, Rush Limbaugh ignored the D.C. conventional wisdom and assessed the situation from a different perspective. Rush informed his audience that he thought Trump digging his heels in was the right move. In fact, as Limbaugh went on to explain, it is the only path to victory. "I'm just gonna tell you point blank Donald Trump can win this if he hangs on," Limbaugh declared. "It's gonna be a few more weeks. It's gonna be risky. But I actually, folks, really believe that if he hangs on and continues down this road, at some point there's gonna be a shift in public opinion and the vast majority of the American people are gonna end up with him on this if he hangs in there. He's got a good start," Rush continued. "There's all kinds of really good, long overdue things happening that we've wanted to happen. Like 95% of the EPA furloughed? A lot of non-essential government workers on furlough? This is exactly what we've wanted: the de-emphasis of government, the shrinking of government, the illustration of the PFFT, redundancy in the number of people and policies and so forth. The idea that people can function, that their lives can go on even in the midst of a partial government shutdown. If he can just hang on a few more weeks. This runs counter to the inside the beltway thinking. Fake news reporters, as well as many establishment Republicans, believe Trump needs an exit ramp from the shutdown and see it as a political crisis of the president's own making. But many Trump supporters believe that is wrong. Trump made building a wall the centerpiece of his campaign. Presidents do not get re-elected when they walk back on the promise that got them elected. A perfect example of this is George H.W. Bush. Bush was one of the few incumbent presidents defeated for re-election precisely because he abandoned his promise not to raise taxes, which put him in the White House in the first place. But Trump is willing to absorb a temporary hit in the polls for a long-term victory. The voters who are disapproving of Trump right now still voted for him in 2016 despite their reservations because they saw the alternative was Hillary Clinton. In 2020, they will be faced with Trump running against a radical leftist Democrat nominee. Those weak supporters from 2016 are more likely to return to the fold and not vote for the alternative in 2020 if they see that Trump stood his ground on the issue. Trump knows it's a trust that can never be recovered once it's broken. That's why Limbaugh correctly asserts that Trump holding on until victory in the shutdown fight will pay political dividends when he runs for re-election. We will keep you up to date on any new developments in this ongoing story.